You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
So here's an interesting story that's been making the rounds recently. Rupert Lowe, the MP for Great Yarmouth, caused quite a stir when he mistook a group of charity rowers for illegal migrants. It all started on a Thursday evening, when Lowe's posted a photo on social media showing a boat near some wind turbines off the Norfolk coast. In his post, he sounded the alarm, saying, "Dinghies coming into Great Yarmouth right now," and said he had alerted the authorities. He even added that if these were illegal migrants, he would be using every tool to make sure they were deported. Turns out, the boat wasn't carrying illegal migrants at all. Instead, it was a crew of 4 rowers raising money for motor neurone disease, rowing all the way from Land's End in Cornwall to John O'Groats in Scotland. The team, called Row 4 MND, includes Mike Bates, a British record holder for solo rowing across the Atlantic, and a former Royal Marine. They were making this impressive journey to raise awareness and funds for a great cause. The HM Coast Guard actually got in touch with the crew to check who they were. The rowers found the whole situation quite amusing, especially since a dozen people were apparently standing on the shoreline, watching them closely. Bates joked about the irony, since he was a former Royal Marine, and said the Royal Navy was effectively on the boat with them. The crew even described the onlookers' behavior as almost vigilante style, following them along the beach, unaware that the rowers were parallel to the shore and not attempting to land. After it became clear the boat wasn't a threat, Lowe later updated his social media to admit the mistake, calling it a false alarm. He said he'd be donating £1,000 to the crew's charity as a gesture of goodwill. He also defended his initial vigilance by saying he had received many urgent complaints from his constituents and insisted he was just looking out for their safety amid what he called a national crisis. Still, he clarified there would be no mass deportations for the charity rowers, but he insisted those measures were still needed for actual illegal immigrants. This incident highlights how tense the immigration debate remains, especially in coastal areas where people are particularly watchful. Rupert Lowe himself has been vocal about cracking down on illegal migration and has pushed for stronger deportation measures. He was elected as a Reform UK MP, but has since become an independent after being expelled from the party earlier this year amid internal disputes. Meanwhile, the Row 4 MND team is continuing their rowing journey, undeterred by the confusion. They've already raised over £100,000 and hope to raise much more as they row for hope and a cure for motor neurone disease. They even have plans for future rowing challenges, including ambitious transatlantic routes to raise further funds. Despite the mix-up, their message remains strong. They're rowing for a cause, not trying to sneak into the country. So, that's the story. A case of mistaken identity on the water, a reminder of how quickly things can escalate, but also a feel-good moment where a mistake ended with a donation to charity. Stay subscribed for more videos.